Hey everyone, I am Mukesh. I work in cybersecurity, but I didn't always. I actually started without any mentor, without any guidance, and honestly, just with the bunch of questions like where do I start? What should I learn first? Do I have to be a hacker to work in cybersecurity? What jobs? What kind of position exists in cybersecurity? If you have ever asked those kind of questions, you are not alone. That's exactly why I'm making this video. This is not going to be any flashy video like top 5 ways to be a hacker, the shortcut to get a job in cybersecurity. No, this is a real talk. I would walk you through what cybersecurity actually is, what kind of skills you need to work in cybersecurity, and step by step to build your skills and a path where you can succeed. No jargon, no hype, just a really talk from someone who has gone through it. So if you have ever wished that you could just, someone just could give you that information straight, stick around. This is what I wish someone had told me when I was just starting out. Thank you. Okay, so let's get started. Let me open my screen so you could see it. Uh, this slide, I really want you to know why even you should listen to me, right? I should have some credentials so that I could talk about it. You already know my name. My name is Mukesh. I have worked in incident response and SOC division for a long time. Currently, I work as a manager, and I have worked as a manager in other companies as well. I'm really passionate about the cybersecurity, and I have spent 15 years of my career to learn about the incident response, blue team, and threat detection side. Right? I I don't want to brag about it. I come from a very middle class ground, and I wish I had someone who could tell me some of the questions that I have when I wanted to get started into cybersecurity. It wasn't like a piece of cake for me. I had to struggle. So that's the reason I'm talking to you to give that some of the information back to the community. Okay. Um, who should listen to this video? Why should you even spend your 15 minutes on this video, right? Uh, if you are a college student, if you want to come into the cybersecurity, that's for you. Even if you work in a role like a system admin, support engineer, QA, or developer, and you have this thought in back of your mind, hey, can I move into the cybersecurity? Yes, why not? And I have my some personal friend who all the time comes to me in my society, in friend circle. Hey Mukesh, can you tell us how can I get started into cybersecurity? I think those are the targeted audience for this video. And of course, if anyone has the curiosity, no one can stop him. And it's just I could be the helping hand, but if someone has the curiosity, they can always break into the cybersecurity. So first thing first, what is the cybersecurity, right? So it's about protecting the assets, right? If you remember in the old days, people will have their jewelry, gold, money, they will keep them at their house, right? And there would be like the people or the bad boys, they would be coming on horses, they would be robbing the villages, they would be the stealing, right? That was the case in the old days. Now, since all these resources, all the money, all the information, all the secrets have moved into in a digital way. So now the the bad boys don't come on the horses, but still they are around. They don't want to earn it hard way, they want to steal it, right? So that's the reason we want to protect these digital resources from those the people. That's the reason we need the people to protect these assets, right? So it goes into like four ways. First, you need to prevent, you need to make sure that no one can access it. That's the reason we put like authentication control, passwords, and everything. Then of course, after putting all this control, you want to make sure that you have a way so you can detect it if something bad happening to your money or to your resources. Then if it is happening, then how do you respond? You need a team for that. And then last phase is you want to make sure that you can recover from the loss or whatever the bad has happened to its original state. You can restore those systems. So that's why we need a cybersecurity. And this is again the another information, right? Uh, just to broaden your view, it's about protecting assets, which I already covered on the previous slide. Critical infrastructures, hospitals, and everything. Have you, I'm sure you must have heard that cyber attack, ransomware, they have like, you remember WannaCry, you must have seen on the news, right? When these bad things happens, this might interrupt the entire operation. Everything is online, everything is depend on computer. If a bad way can just threaten your computer, they can make it inaccessible, they can do the bad things to your system, right? And you can't operate. Then think about a hospital, think about a bank, think about anywhere you go, right? Everything is like digital, depend on computers. If you stop them working in any way, everything is impacted, right? That's why we need cybersecurity. We need to make sure that business keeps running. Those are online whenever they need, right? Of course, there is a compliance and regulatory requirement as well that we have to adhere in order to do the business. That's where also the cybersecurity helps. Okay. This is the fun part. Now, whenever comes to me, somebody comes to me directly, he say, "Hey, Mukesh, can you let me know how do I started in cybersecurity?" Then I know this guy has no idea that how many departments and team umbrella exist in the cybersecurity, and how do I give him a straight answer? It's very difficult. I can't really tell you because there are so many different type of jobs. The function exists under the cybersecurity. It's very hard to tell you when you had no clue. So on these slides, in these three slides, I would be talking about what all types of jobs exist in the cybersecurity, okay, and under which department. So the heading of heading that is a starting, that is a department name. So first department, which is a blue team, defense and response. That's where I work. That's where I have spent my time and energy. That's where I have the expertise. So in that department, you will have this much of function, right? So this much function have different people. So you can choose to be any of those: SOC analyst, incident response, threat hunter, detection engineer, threat intelligence analyst, vulnerability management, right? That's a one department. Obviously, in the interest of time, I can't go in the depth of the every bullet, every role that exists under the blue team, but on the high level, this is what we have. Then there is another department which is quite popular from the regulatory and compliance perspective, that we call it GRC, right? GRC have this kind of the team where you could be one of those if you want to have a job under those functions. What they do, risk analyst, they do like risk analysis, compliance, they make sure that we are compliant as per the regulatory requirement wherever we do the business. It varies based on the geographic reason. Then security auditors, it could be internal and external auditors who does the audit. Then policy and governments, you must be knowing wherever you work in whatever the field, you will always get an information from the infosec. These are the call policy and you have to adhere, right? Third party risk assessment, every business need to collaborate with the third party companies, so that's where these people do the third party vendor risk assessment. Then business continuity, dr there's a term for dr planner, right? So if any natural disaster or anything happens in one specific region or anything, how do you ensure that your business is still up and running? So there is a jobs for this. There are people who does those planning for the companies. Next department is red team, offensive security. That's literally meaning there is a department who act like a bad actor, right? So before anybody could attack us, why not we hire some people who can test our system, who could test our controls, so there are no loopholes, right? So these are the department: penetration tester, red teamer, application security, and social engineer, bug bounty hunter, all that function fall under that department. Then have AppSec, cloud security. Those are the people who closely work with the development team. So you have heard the terms like, let's be a secure by design. So whenever the you developer writes codes, we make sure that we are reviewing for the loophole that time itself, right? Then we have the DevSecOps engineer. You have heard the term shift left security, basically, and during the design time also make sure that there are no vulnerability, right? Then cloud security engineer, who helps you to define, and there are a lot of other functions. Then IAM, identity and access management. These are the people who are responsible to ensure for your authentication, single sign-on, and those kind of control for your application, right? If you do the integration with your Active Directory, all those stuff, you must have seen, heard of company like Okta, SecureAuth. They are like identity provider. So how, and that department gets managed, that's under the IAM team. Then architecture and awareness, right? The people who would design the entire security, architect, the infrastructures, right? And also the program managers who are responsible for making sure that the security program runs without a risk. Those are the department, those falls under the cyber security. Again, different company, different name, and one or two department could be here there. It's depend upon the department heads, CISO, sometimes chief risk officer, CIO. They might go here and there, but on high level, these are the department that exist in any company. Okay. So now coming back to your question, if you want to get started, uh, you have to narrow down your approach, which specific department that you want to target, under department in which role you want to earn your expertise, so you could add value to a company. Once you decide that, it is not end of the world. If you decided to be a, let's say, IAM security engineer, directory service admin or something, and then you want to move into the red team, of course you can do that. But to get started, first you have to narrow down your focus, so you get your first job, right? Now, the most important part, mm, you, I have seen the people who said, hey, I want to come into the cyber security. Shall I do this certification? Shall I enroll in this class? Shall I go for this training that is happening there? No. Like I said, it's not about the certification. Those are important. I'll come to that part. First, decide a department function that you want to target, then look for the best option training under that specific department, right? Specialize, pick your specific skills where you want to be great at. Once you decided, no matter which skill you decided, first make sure that you have the some of fundamentals, understand the networking, how the operating system worked, OS. I mean, you don't have to expert all three OS, but if you see Windows has majority of the share, why not started understanding the Windows fundamental, then Linux, and then Mac OS, right? Understand basic programming, scripting, which is have to be a Python or the shell scripting. So at least it makes you more relevant in your role. Now you might ask, is it mandatory? At least these days now I'm seeing that it is becoming mandatory. So if it is good that you learn at least one language, right? Then go for hands-on. Don't just go for any random certification and say that I have done this certification and I'm not getting a job. It's not God. You can go for certification, but make sure that you stand out yourself by doing some practice, by building some tools, by having your GitHub profile, try hack me, hack the box, and some cert which has value like hands-on. Do those, capture the flag, all those kind of event, right? Certify smart. Now a lot of people do the certification, go for certification, but once you do the certification, if you come back and if you can't put that knowledge back into the business, you can't put that knowledge back into the actions. I think personally I feel those cert are useless. If you can't put into the work, you will forget. No matter which certification you do, in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, you want to recall it. But if you learn, if you put into the work, I can guarantee you, you will never ever forget that skills. Okay. Then of course, make sure that you go, um, you are able to show your credentials to the community, right? Either you by the LinkedIn or GitHub, you tell the people that, hey, this is what I have gained, this is what I know. So that's where I want to be. I think those would be the like very high level, high level, like very high level view that I can give you if you want to break into the cybersecurity. But this is just a starting, my first video. If you want me to cover any other specific topic or anything else, you can comment on this video. I will definitely come back. And this is just a starting. Please stay tuned for more videos. We have a long way to go. And I really want to help everyone at free of cost. You don't have to pay anything for these basic skills. Thank you. All right. I hope this has given you some clarity and confidence to start your career in cybersecurity. Even if this has helped you a little bit, it would mean a lot to hit like button, because this is what the motivation for me is. If you can subscribe and like, if it is helping, that would be great. Also, please drop a comment about your background. Do you want to move from your existing career, like from QA or testing or from development to cybersecurity, or you are just a fresh college graduate who want to break into cybersecurity? I would love to know your background, and I will definitely answer every comment and help you in whatever way I can. Thank you guys.